your awareness to understand who you are, what the body is, and how what suits you.
Somebody can digest 6 spoons and somebody can digest 1 spoon. Exactly.
I like the way he said, you suggest a short-term
I love it.
sleep debt versus long-term sleep debt. That was a perfect definition that we should have, because there is no substitute. There is nothing like a long sleep debt reversal, but there is a short-term reversal. And that was a very good definition of it. I thought that was really marvelous.
So let's begin now with 3 ohms. Let's take a deep breath in. So our usual disclaimer, when you participate here, you're responsible for your own well-being. Life in Yoga and I are not responsible for the outcome of your attendance over here. So please take care to make sure whatever you do without any strain, and make sure you keep yourself in good shape. So you know the usual ways of doing that, making sure the breath is always slow and smooth and the spine is straight. So let's begin with the chakra vibrations. Bring your awareness to the perineum. Pressing on the little finger, we begin with Lam. 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 Release the fingers. Continue. Lam. Lam. Now bring your awareness an inch or so above the perineum, and pressing on the ring finger, we do Vam. As we do Vam, we draw in at the place behind the place where we urinate. So let's begin. Vam. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Bring the awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body, and as you draw in at the navel, we do Ram, pressing on the middle finger with the thumb. Ram. Ram.
Ram.
Ram. Ram. Release the fingers and continue. Ram. Ram. Last time. Ram. Now bring the awareness to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts, and here we do yum, pressing on the index finger of the thumb.
Yeah.
Yum. 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 Release the fingers, continue.
Yeah.
Yum. Yum. Now bring the awareness to the throat. We do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. 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 Release the hands, continue. Hum. Hum. Bring the awareness to the middle of the head. Here we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist.
Chum.
Chum. Chum. Chum. Chum. Chum. Chum. Chum. Release the hand, continue.
Chum.
Chum. Now bring the awareness to the top of the head. We do Om, thumbs up. Release the hands and continue. Om. Last time. Om. Now we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama. So those of you who know it, all of you here are familiar, so please proceed. Palms open, thumbs up. If anybody needs instructions, bring your awareness to the bottommost part of the mouth and make a big smile so that you can feel a stretch at the bottommost part of the mouth. Keeping the focus on the stretch, inhale and exhale in slow, deep breaths and feel the mild sucking sensation as you inhale and a reverse sucking sensation as you exhale. Please continue. So now let's go on to shoulder rotations. As you inhale, lift up the shoulders, and as you exhale, rotate it back and bring down the shoulders. Last inhalation and last exhalation with shoulder rotation. Now we continue the same Ujjayi breath, but we stretch up as we inhale. Look up as you inhale, and as you exhale, look down as you come down. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can stretch the hands out and lift up the palms and keep it in a relaxed way and continue doing the Ujjayi. And as you do the Ujjayi, if you feel like, you can do the mantra Haim Nam, particularly if your fingers are paining. Amma? Haim Nam. If you're doing Haim Nam, with each inhalation, do it like two or three times, and similarly with each exhalation. Now we can go on to our neck exercises. As you exhale, gently tilt the head, bringing one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tilt towards the other shoulder. Inhale, come back up, and continue. Reminder for everyone, today being Sunday, we have half hour of discussion time in the end. And a logical place or point of discussion today will be the importance of sleep quality that we had the discussion earlier today. So that will be at least one part. Anything else you want to discuss, keep in mind. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Now we do each of the four sides. We will do the three sides, Ah, and chin down we will do Ma. Each one we will do 3 times in the first round. In the second round we will do it once. So turn your head to the right. Ah. Second time. Ah. Last. Ah. Turn to the left. Ah. 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 Now head to the back. Chin to the chest. Head to the right once. Ah. To the left. Ah. To the back. Ah. Chin to the chest. Now you can bring your awareness above your head, and depending upon what you prefer, you can do Ah there or Om there. Om. Now we go on to the hand exercises. Oh, sorry, yes. We have to do the 360 degree of the neck. Bring your chin down to the neck. Inhale, half a circle. and exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last exhalation, chin down. And now we go in the reverse direction. Last exhalation. Now we can stretch the hands forward. Inhale, lift up the palm and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in and make a downward facing fist. As you continue to inhale, stretch up and extend, and exhale with fist down. You can do mentally Haim Nam mantra. Last exhalation, keep the fist and go around the wrist. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, complete the circle. Last inhalation and last exhalation, and let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now elbows in line with the shoulders, fist below the chin. As you inhale, go around the wrist, opening out the palms, and as you exhale, make the fist again. And continue. Inhale and exhale. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Let's go backward. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Interlock the fingers, bring it behind the head. Stretch out the shoulders and the elbows. And as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Get hold of the elbows behind the head. Exhale, pull on one elbow, inhale, come back up. Exhale on the other side, inhale, come back up, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Bring your hands behind the back. Get hold of the elbows. Take a deep breath in. Pull back the shoulders. Expand the chest. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, turn the other way. Inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Get hold of your hips behind the back. And as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other hand and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward and keep alternating the two sides. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Now we can cross one leg over the other, get hold of the knee, and as you exhale, pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder and turn the head the other way. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Cross over the other leg. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Now we stand up, and as we inhale, we bend at the knees, and as you bend, feel the stretch in the ankles. And remember to keep the trunk of the body vertical. Don't bend forward. Inhale and exhale. You don't need to bend the knees a lot. Just a little bit is good enough. Last inhalation, exhalation. Now get hold of the hips and we go around the hips. Inhale and exhale. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can do the pelvic bend. So if you don't have good balance, you can be seated. Others can keep the feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other. Get hold of your hands behind the back. Take a deep inhalation, pull back the shoulders, lift up the chin and lean backward. And as you exhale, Push out the butt and keeping the chin up, shoulder pulled back, lean forward. As you inhale and exhale, observe the stretch from the hips all the way down to the feet. Take a deep breath in and slowly come back up. Take your seat, and then we go on to the alternate nostril breathing. 6 to 8 breaths of alternate nostril breathing. Then we will go on to Bhastrika. You can begin with inhalation from the left nostril, exhalation to the right, inhalation to the right, exhalation to the left. Continue. Once you finish the last cycle, we can get ready for the Bhastrika. Let's get ready for the Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. exhale. 9, exhale. 20, exhale. Take a slow, deep breath through the right nostril. Hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then do one Brahmari. Now bring the awareness to the chest area and mentally vibrate Haim, 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 Haim. It's just a visualization. You can think of the lungs pumping Haim, Haim, Haim. There is no focus on the breath. You can make that into Haim Nam anytime you feel like. Now, bring the awareness behind the lowermost part of the sternum and visualize a rising vibration going through you and out of the top of the head. And that feels like Haim Em Home. Now we go on to
We do
the
the 7
spinal
mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim. I'm Shim 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jime Haim I'm O. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jime Haim I'm O.
Now we go on to the next round of our Bhastrika. Let's begin with exhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Take a deep breath through the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then do one Bhramari. Let's go on to the next round of Bhastrika. Get ready. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 17, exhale. 8, 9, 90, exhale. 20, exhale. Deep breath to the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then do one Brahmari. We can get ready for the last round of Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Deep breath to the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then do one Brahmari. Now we can get ready for meditation. Make sure the body is fully relaxed. You have a good posture seat, spine straight, and mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. Keep the palms in an open position. Mentally tell yourself, I let go of all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I care about nothing. I care about nothing. Feel the shoulders become lighter as you let go of everything. The head may feel lighter too, and maybe the body also feels lighter. If you have a preferred method of meditation, you can do it. Otherwise, visualize a rising vibration from behind the lowermost part of the sternum, going through the body and out of the top of the head. And that rising vibration feels like Haim Em Om. 3 syllables, Haim Em Om. So keep observing the flow. And we will have Om playing in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. And with that as the thought, become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And whenever you're ready to open your eyes, raise the palm of your hands and look straight into the palm of your hands when you open your eyes. With that, we finish the session for today, except we have the discussion remaining. So for the next half hour. So if people would like, I can start with a 5-minute summary of our discussion earlier in the morning. Would anybody like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that case,
I have a question before you go. Just one quick question. The meditation, during the meditation, should I be using my personal mantra and go from my sternum all the way to the head, or just ignore the personal mantra?
what personal mantra do you use?
I'm.
Yeah, when you use I'm, you can
Yeah.
use the personal mantra. It will be more powerful than doing the Hai Mem Om. And when you do I'm, you don't need to do any visualization. Don't focus anywhere.
Oh, okay. Just do I'm without.
Just do I'm.
Okay, because it seems like I feel a lot better when I go up, but
No, you can do I'm with flow too, but it's not needed. If you do it
Okay.
with flow, it won't create any harm.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Rajeshri, you have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question. I will continue on the same thing. My question is, this I mantra also comes in the Vedic Devi mantra. Both are same or the Bijaksharas?
I will answer that question. It's a long answer. So I will spend 5 minutes to answer that little later.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, I'll answer it today.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. So I'll give you a quick summary now of the seminar we had this morning. Essentially, the few components over there, one is adequate sleep is essential for good health. And it is the quality of sleep that is more important. And at the same time, the amount of sleep needed for each person varies according to their need. If you ask people, they will say on average, most people need about 8 hours sleep a day. But there may be people who may need more than 8 hours and others who may be able to do with less than 8 hours. But what happens is you should have enough deep sleep within that. Now, in the electroencephalogram, when they measure to see what is the nature of the sleep, they look in terms of how many vibrations there are for each second. So in each second, when you have more waves, then there is more activity, less waves, less activity. And usually the term used for it is hertz. So number in each second, if you have 5 waves, it is called 5 hertz. And if you have 10 waves, it's called 10 hertz. Now in normal living, as you are right now in the awake state, you're supposed to have 10 to 30 hertz per is where you operate. So every second there is 10 to 30 waves in your brain happening. Whereas on the other hand, when you begin to recede slowly, then in which case this 10 to 30 hertz, apparently they call it as beta waves. And from there, as it becomes a little less as you're preparing to sleep, they call it as theta waves. When they go into this, they call it becomes lesser and lesser. And finally, and then below that, it goes into alpha waves. And very, very low level of activity, they call it as delta waves. So that is where the sleep really happens. Now, they say there are different, there is the REM sleep, that is the random eye movement sleep, where people get sleep. And then, of course, the deep sleep is a non-REM sleep state. So these were all described by Stoma Parker. And then the key elements is that the first phase of the sleep is usually the deepest sleep. People apparently go in cycles of sleep every 90 minutes or so, or 2 hours. So in the first cycle is usually you go into the deep sleep state, and then you slowly come out of that, and then again you fall asleep, and like that. And so when you wake up, you should have had enough sleep so that you feel adequately rested. And it is preferred not to use any alarms to wake up, because you need to have enough sleep and you should naturally wake up feeling good. So from a neurological perspective, it is understood that if you don't have enough sleep, it creates a sleep deficit inside you. Now, there may be periods when you, like for a day or so, because of various circumstances, you didn't get your normal sleep. Then you can make that sleep up the next day, and by sleeping longer. Whereas if you chronically do this long term, then it will have enough impact on your health. By sleeping extra, you're not going to recover your health. So it is important that everybody sleep enough. Okay, so this was the basic description of this element of sleep. And if you don't sleep well enough, it can lead to several disorders. And one disorder that was spoken about is obstructive sleep apnea. That is, it usually starts by people snoring and waking up not feeling, well relaxed. And if they do a sleep lab test, then in which case they may be diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea. What is obstructive sleep apnea? Simply, if you look at the back of the mouth, back of the throat, in the back of the mouth, the muscles that are there are resilient. So when you want to swallow something or close the mouth, the back shuts off so that the nasal cavity, whatever you're swallowing, the air doesn't go in and go into your air tube. So that takes care of it. It passes it on to go into your esophagus and go down. Now what happens is, for sleep apnea, when people are completely relaxed in sleep, there is not enough energy for the resilience for the muscles behind the mouth, what are called the pharyngeal muscles. So they collapse. And when they collapse, they shut the breath going in through the nose. So initially, the moment that happens, the body's mechanism to survive shakes up the body, and people sometimes start breathing through the mouth. They may also breathe through the nose, but momentarily they are woken up. They may not even realize it. They may be slightly, waking up in a less than a complete conscious open state, awake state, and then they go back to sleep again. Now, typically it is said, anytime this happens where you're not breathing and it is closed over there, when it's closed over there, it is considered as apnea. On the other hand, if you're not breathing for more than 10 seconds continuously, it is called hypoapnea. So what happens is, in sleep, they measure what is called the apnea and the hypoapnea. If it is 5 or less in a given hour, then it is considered a non-issue. If it is 5 to 15 per hour, then they say you have mild sleep apnea. 15 to 30 is considered moderate. Above 30 is considered very severe, which means every minute. Above 30 means within a minute or two, you go into a phase where you're not breathing properly, right? So this lack of breath eventually results in poor sleep, and finally, it also results in other complications as a result of the immune system worsening. People can become diabetic, they can get cardiovascular problems, they can get psoriasis or allergy, they become more prone to allergies, and other autoimmune conditions can all emerge. Arthritis, everything will become worse with not sleeping well. So this gives you a summary of what was discussed. But again, the final point was that every person is different. So you have to decide for yourself, by observing yourself, what gives you the deepest level of relaxation. And you need to decide how much sleep is needed for you. And if you find that your quality of sleep is not good enough, you will need to take some restorative mechanism to do it. And one of the good restorative mechanism is, before going to sleep, do 15 minutes of Ujjayi Pranayama. There was also some discussion about insomnia. Insomnia is defined that if you go to sleep, within the half hour, if you don't fall asleep after lying down, then that is defined as insomnia. Now, the key point that generally it is said is that your brain is too active, and that is why it is not allowing you to fall asleep. So it is generally said you need to tune out the brain. So good recommendations are that if you are going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night, by about 7, 8 in the evening, stop doing active work. Don't be in front of a computer screen. Don't do analytical work. Just be relaxed. And slowly, as the drowsiness comes, fall asleep. Now, there was one person who said on a daily basis, she begins to feel drowsy as she's sitting on the couch watching the television. So, and then she turns off the television. And then once she goes to the bed, she is unable to fall asleep. And if that happens, the suggestion was, why don't you just go to sleep right on your couch, as opposed to being in the bed. By the way, I'm one of those people. If I'm on my couch, I can easily fall asleep. But then if I go in, the process of walking and going itself disturbs the sleep. So you may want to see what works for you. But nevertheless, if I go to the bed, in a matter of, it may take, instead of instantly falling asleep, it may take 20 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, but it's not instant. Over a period of time, after lying there, after a point in time, I fall asleep. So yeah, there was somebody raised a hand. Questions? Yeah, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it was somebody. Yeah, it was a wonderful session. Gave a comprehensive review of the causes of sleeplessness and the remedies around all those things. I found it most interesting, all those aspects, and also the various components of the so-called sleep hygiene. What are the things to be avoided? What are the things to be promoted? And all the rest of those things is most useful. I have been having this sleep disorder for quite a long time, several years, and I'm now taking regularly some sleep medication, which I want to kick off. But the thing is, I find that I'm somewhat dependent on that one, because if I don't have the sleep medication, I don't get to sleep very well. So it was suggested that you can do for 15 minutes something with Ujjayi Pranayama before going to sleep and all that. I understand that one. I think I'll start trying that out with Ujjayi Pranayama for 15
minutes. There is one caution for you over here.
Yes.
The caution is people who have been taking sleep-related medications for a long time. They will not be able to get over it simply by doing as a substitute for Ujjayi Pranayama. Okay? But what they can do is, the thing is, you see, as they work on the Ujjayi Pranayama, they can start reducing the dosage of the medication. And you can never reduce dosage by 50%. You cannot. You have to only reduce it by 10 to 15%. And after reducing it by 10 to 15%, you hold it for a period of at least 2 to 3 weeks. And after holding it for 2 to 3 weeks, you can cut down another 10 to 15%. Provided you can sleep well. Now what happens is, anytime you reduce the medication, that night you may find it takes you 5 minutes longer to fall asleep. 5 minutes longer to fall asleep is not such a bad thing. And so what happens is, you will notice the difference, but slowly over a period of that 2-3 weeks, it will come back where you go back to the same thing. So this is the only way to withdraw from it.
Actually,
there isn't an easy way to do it.
I probably will have to do it on alternate days or something, because what I have is a minimum dose of medication. Anyway, I get the idea of what to do. Generally reduce the intake of it and then see how it works for a period of time. Yeah, thanks for that one. And of course, in the meantime, do the Ujjayi Pranayama, and that should also help. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. There are other hands up. Anybody unmute and speak up?
Okay, I'll talk. You said, mentioned that the change in perception, like a 85-year-old person. What was that about?
Say that again.
Kumarji had I came little late. So he put that, how did you like that the change in perception, like the 85 years old person for getting sleep or something? I just have it in his response. I don't know. I'll ask him later on what he meant.
Perhaps Sundaraji or someone who was present over there know what this may be a reference to?
Maybe. I came late. I came half an hour late.
Yeah. Nobody?
Thank you.
We don't know the answer. Next person.
Okay. You were.
Okay.
It was very good.
My question is the sleep with dreams, in what category? Sleep with dreams. Sleep.
Okay. So the deep sleep is the one where it is in the realm of what they call as the delta waves. So you need a certain quantity of deep sleep. That is, unless you have at least 2-3 hours of deep sleep within the night, and the rest of the sleep will be REM sleep and all of those, so a total of 8 hours, it is not good enough. And again, I'm going to say something to you. To ask for how much, only you can answer. Each person has their own and different need. So to come and say this is how much you need or whatever does not make sense. It depends upon who you are and how much you need.
So sleep with dreams. Sometimes it looks at all night. Oh, I dreamt all night, but I slept all night.
When you wake up, how do you feel?
It's okay, but it just bothers me that all night I was dreaming.
Okay, then if that is the case, you probably didn't get deep sleep, but it's very difficult to believe that all night you were dreaming and you didn't have deep sleep. But I don't know, maybe that is the case. If that is the case, you couldn't have woken up feeling refreshed.
Okay.
In which case you are not having enough deep sleep. Do you have any snoring problem?
No.
Okay. Do you have any daytime sleepiness?
During the day after lunch, yes, I take a nap.
Okay. But if you were sitting as a passenger in a car and going somewhere for an hour, somebody else is driving, would you doze off?
No.
You wouldn't. Okay. So if you're sitting and watching television in the evening, will you doze off?
No.
Okay. Then you probably don't have any major sleep issues.
Okay. Thank you.
These are just indicators. And these are the kind of questions they ask in a survey to determine whether they should take you to a sleep lab study.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Shashi,
Yeah.
you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I have a question
No,
about.
no, thank you. No, thank you.
Please lower your hands then.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The question is, there was discussion about melatonin, and they said melatonin before you go to bed, 5 hours before bedtime, you take melatonin.
1 second. Okay, go ahead.
So there was a suggestion made about taking melatonin 5 hours before going to bed. Melatonin is not a sleep tablet, right? It is just a hormone to induce sleep. So is that what is supposed to be 5 hours?
See, the thing is, yes, melatonin is supposed to be a hormone produced by the pineal gland, but I will defer to Sundaraji to answer that question. Go ahead. We don't hear you. You're unmuted, but for whatever reason, we don't hear you. No, you unmute again. Okay, try talking.
Yeah, well, we see.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, when you're close to your computer, we hear you.
Point.
We are,
No, we can't hear you.
Here,
No, we don't hear you. Now you are coming through in a broken way.
You have to go close to the mic.
that you shouldn't sleep more than 1.5. It is called a half-life. That means it has the maximum effect at a particular time. So in melatonin, it starts really going through that stage. The blood level goes up around the time of 4 to 5 hours. So the best time is to take about 4 to 5 hours ahead of time. So by the time you're ready to go to sleep, you can go to sleep because the drug at is higher level.
You heard that, Shivaji Dasgupta? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so go ahead next. Jaya Sundar, go ahead.
Dr. Narayan, the question I have is just there are some devices like in Apple Watch, even some of them that you measure your deep sleep, like you are explaining, right? I was curious, is that good to go with that? Because I try not to take any of these when I'm going to bed, but I wanted to get your thoughts around if I for a few days to understand my sleep pattern.
I will defer that answer to somebody else who has competence on that matter, because I personally don't use anything. And in fact, what happens is because any Apple Watch or whatever has some electromagnetic component, they are interfering with you also while taking it. Okay, so for everything there is a value, and also excessive use is not good. So I don't know the answer to your question. Anybody have a suggestion? Okay, so the answer for you is, you find it useful, use it.
Dr. Ravi?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just go to bed and fall asleep, But sometimes even for 5 days or 2 days in a week, I can't fall asleep. Then I take Klonopin.
Yeah.
1/8 of a milligram.
Yeah.
So what's your suggestion? How do I reduce? I mean, 1/8 is nothing very small, but
you see, I know you well enough to know your issues are more complicated than that. So I cannot really give you an advice over here. You have been, as long as it is working for you, whatever works for you, do what is right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anita Shah, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, this little different topic. I go to sleep, and as per I told you, I cannot sleep until 1 hour, 2 hours. Still try to sleep. I start my music or like that. One time I went to sleep 11:30 and suddenly woke up 12:45 with lots of high heartbeat. This has happened first time. But when I was breathing, I was fine. I did not have any pain in my chest or nothing. At that point, I talked to next day my doctor and he said, you had to go to emergency. I didn't feel like to go to emergency ward. Then I had an EKG done, heart monitor done, nothing came in. And my heartbeat was 116 at that time. I measured it by machine. At that point, I could not go to sleep like until 4:30 or 5 o'clock. What should do?
Okay. See, what happens is, anybody who is a doctor or anyone, nobody wants the liability of giving you wrong advice. So they say, if you have this problem, go to emergency room, right? So the thing is, you see,
Didn't want to go.
see, what happens is, okay. So, okay. The coming back over here, I have had an experience where I went to sleep at some point like 11:30 one day, and I woke up 1 hour later sweating. And this thing, and it was not possible to fall asleep. So at least for 2-3 hours after that, I couldn't fall asleep. It was a random event one day, long time back, maybe like 2 years back or so. But it didn't happen again, and I cannot explain the answer to you.
That's true, right?
Okay. So my suggestion for you is, if nothing has happened for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in which case there is no problem whatsoever. Everything is fine.
Just forget that.
But if it repeats, I'm sure you need to take, get yourself evaluated. But if it doesn't repeat, it was like one random event, who knows what it is. Then nobody can find out, and you're doing all right, so carry on.
Okay, doctor was asking, did you have a bad dream? So all of a sudden you woke up and your heartbeat went up. I said, no, I woke up with heartbeat off. So, well, thank you.
Yeah. Sundaraji, you're going to say something? Go ahead. We cannot hear you. You have to come close to your computer, then somehow it picks up a little bit.
So,
no, we don't hear Sundaraji, so we have to give up. Dalpat Bhai, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yes, Doctor, this is the question I have for a long time. Pranavayu and Apanvayu, what is the function of those Vayu, and is different kind or only one kind of Pranavayu?
Okay, I will answer that question. All the sleep questions are over. There are 2 questions waiting. One is the mantra related question of Rajashri Ram Bhatla, and this thing, Pranavayu, Apanavayu. Any sleep question, speak up. Go ahead. Rajashri, go ahead.
When we have the disturbed sleep like that, like, you go to bed for like 2 hours and you woke up in the middle of night and you couldn't fall asleep. Is there any yoga exercise we can do at that point? Is it going to helpful?
I can only say try Ujjayi Pranayama.
Ujjayi Pranayama, okay.
Ujjayi.
Okay, so now Bulbul Bhatia, you have your hand up.
Yeah, Namaskar, Dr. Rajan.
Namaste.
This morning I didn't get like a connection with the seminar. I didn't get any email, so that I couldn't open that one.
Okay. If you have registered earlier and you didn't get the email, I had been saying the last few days, please let me know ahead of time. And so I sent them my link. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to let Avni know. Avni is the one who manages it. She will double check to make sure your name is there. And if it's still not coming, we'll have to give you a different link which you can, by the way, whatever links you have now that works for you, it will work for the next 1 year.
Okay.
You can save it and keep it. You don't need a new link each time, even though it has been programmed that you will get a reminder 1 week before, 1 day before, and 1 hour before. So 3 reminders have been programmed in the system.
Yeah, but this morning I didn't see any email or any.
That is fine. If you didn't get anything, you need to tell me 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, because if you tell me at least 1 day before we can do, even if you say 1 hour before we can do something. But anyway, so let's move along. I have the answer questions for the 2 questions that are waiting, and with that we will close. There are too many people unmuted, so I'm going to mute everybody so that I'm able to answer the question and we can close out. In the case of prana and apana, prana is the energy that controls the vitality in the body. So what does prana control to ensure vitality in the body? Your breathing and heart rate is all affected by prana. Some people, because of that, will tell you the prana is in the chest area. In fact, prana is there everywhere. It is the controller of the vitality, starting from the brain, the central nervous system, and the cardiorespiratory system. That is where prana resides. Now, what is apana? Apana is the control, the communication that controls the muscle, the musculature in the body. Now, typically what happens is, when people are working, very often they think of the musculature that supports the body, the lower parts of the body. And very often people will say, Apana Vayu is the one that controls the defecation process, the anus, this thing. But it's in fact more than that. It controls all the communication related to muscle control in the body. Okay. So now that was the easy question. Next question that was there earlier was the mantra the Rajashri Ram Bhatla had asked. So in the case of mantras, in the ancient system, there are 4 anchor mantras. And the 4 anchor mantras are related to the 4 ashramas of life. In fact, what happens is they say in the state of brahmacharya, you have to use the mantra Aim, which is the Saraswati Bija mantra. In the case of Grahastha Ashrama, the mantra is considered Shreem, which is considered the Lakshmi Bija mantra. In the case of once you are in the Vanaprastha stage, the mantra is considered Hreem, which is considered the Shakti Bija mantra. And then when you are in the Sannyasa state, you use the mantra Om. Now, of course, when I make a statement like this, probably there is a lot of misunderstanding about the meaning of Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Ashrama, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So this we will keep for a discussion at a later time. But the concept of the mantra associated with it is, in each state of these stages, you have the mind is of a certain orientation. In the case of Brahmacharya, literally it means one who seeks to know. Curiosity is to know is called Brahmacharya, and a Brahmachari is one who seeks to know, who seeks to learn. So when you're seeking to learn, and the mind is always active, what, you hear a lot of things. But when you use the mantra Aim, which is the Saraswati Bija mantra, it calms your head so that whatever you have learned, you are able to digest it. So that is why that mantra is used. So each of these mantras, anchor mantras related, they're considered the mantras that are harmonic to your vibration and enable assimilation. We'll go deeper into this discussion another time, but that is in short that I was able to tell you today. So namaste. See you all.